Okay, the first thing what I want to start is actually to ask you for something. And my ask is to be open-minded. I think it is actually most important thing what I'm going to say today. And if you're not going to stay open-minded, the rest of the presentation is not going to be that effective for you guys. And I'm going to try to guess what kind of thoughts you're going to have in your head while listening everything what I'm about to say today. And the reason I know it is not just because I can scan through your minds and try to understand what's happening in that. It's just because of the nature of our minds. Our minds, they're not built to think that logically, to learn new things and stuff like that. Our minds actually were built to protect us. And since the human being appeared at all, our minds have changed like for 1 or 2%. So we have those same minds which try to protect us, nothing else. This is the most important thing what the mind is thinking about. So therefore, I'm guessing part of you today will think this. Okay, I know it. I kind of didn't try it yet, but I think it will not work for me. And that's what usually our mind makes us to say to ourselves. Another group of you probably will say, well, I know, I tried, it did not work for me at all. Before we get to the third group, I have a couple of comments to say about these two groups. So for those who knows, but did not try, but think it's not going to work for them, please try it, because unless you try it, you cannot know. Your mind do not know. You think you know, and you cannot know. Like for example, if someone tonight would ask me, go and I don't know, practice salsa, my first reaction probably would be, no way, it's not for me. It's not going to work for me. But I cannot know until I try. So this is very important. So if you even think it's not going to work for you, please try it. Try to implement it in your daily routine, daily life, and it might even work for you. And I would say even more, but it's also applied for the second group. You know you tried, but and you say, it didn't work. So let's skip that part. Maybe I will search and take my phone and search for something on the phone yet, while Igor is talking about that thing. So for this group, I would ask you to challenge yourself whether you put enough effort to it while you was trying, because it's very important. You know, I compare it with the sports. Like we all logically know we have to go for sport. I don't know, I have to run, I have to go to gym, and it's logically, and we can logically decide to do it next morning, and that's all good and that's all fine. But it's super hard apparently to do it next morning. So we do it or we don't do it. And it's very hard to start, right? So what my point is here is that we need to catch up with our emotions as well, because we make decisions not only with our logic, but we make decisions with our emotions, basically with our subconsciousness, and our minds have to catch up, because you cannot change emotion very quick enough. You can easily decide something to do like that, and it's super logically for you, but your mind should catch up. We have to rewire the mind. So therefore, if you're going to try it only once, if you're going to try it only twice, and you're going to apply poor technique to that of trying, you might get confused with you not being succeeding in this thing, and you might drop it too quick before you actually would succeed and use it in your life as your advantage. I would even say, if you want to implement something in your life, you should try it for at least 3 or 6 months. I would even say, for myself, I put it for 6 to 12 months. If I decide to implement something in my life, I really want to stick to it. I want to do it right for like 6 or 12 months. And then I decide whether it's working for me or not. So therefore, for this group and for the first group as well, if you tried it, but you think it doesn't work, think of whether you put enough effort to it. It's like, again, with this same running. Okay, yeah, I've done it for 3 or 6 months, but how did I do it? Well, I went to the gym, I kind of walked 10 minutes on the treadmill, and then I left. But I did it for 6 months. Yay! Again, you see, you've tried it. Yeah, you can say all these things. Yeah, I've tried it for 6 months, but how did you do that? It's a very different part. So therefore, try to challenge yourself as well, and try to work with your mind and let it catch up. Because again, if you go to the gym first couple of times or maybe first couple of months, it's super hard. It's hard for you to start it, hard for you not only start, but also to continue. Continue part is super hard. But there is one moment when you start to see the results. You actually look at yourself in the mirror and say, some muscles show up. I like what I see. And that makes you start doing it more and more. And then you cannot get off the track. You don't imagine your life without it whatsoever. And that thing is then your mind is catching up. It's rewiring, because our minds rewire themselves through the repetition. We cannot logically tell our mind to do something. Our mind is sticking to the old program which we are all working with and which we are all functioning. We have to give it a time to catch up. And catching up, we rewire the mind with the repetition, with the practice. So I think this is, as I said, probably the most important thing today, what I say, because if you're not gonna look at the things what I'm about to say today through this framework, that presentation will not be that effective, because your mind is gonna try to get you off track, and you're gonna think about the things I'm about to say in the way I have outlined it here. Of course, we have a third group, which doesn't know, don't want to know, maybe even don't want to try. Well, I have not much to say for that group, but only the thing, again, this is your mind, it's not you, is not you. Our mind, again, works based on our past, about the patterns we have already kind of practiced through the whole life. It was the practice as well, repetition as well, old ways. We have repeated those old ways, and our mind wants to keep doing it. So therefore, sometimes it's very hard to change it. So for this group, I want you to understand that, and maybe that will help you to get out of this third group.